Today I would like to tell you about internal linking. A few days ago I published a video about things you can change on your website to improve your ranking, and the last item was internal linking. A huge topic, so that's why I thought I could make a follow-up video, which is this one. I'll make some drawings. I have zero space on this. I'm gonna draw on this piece of paper and try to capture it from above with an iPhone. Normally on websites you have a bunch of random links going both out of the website to social media, and for your own internal linking it usually is all kinds of random links. So let's just draw up a normal website here. Contact, maybe an about link, maybe a blog, services, logo over here, the random links in the bottom, LinkedIn or your Instagram and your Facebook. All of these links here, they will go out of your website. Already here we lost 3 link juice links. 4 links up here that basically just links to your most important pages. That's quite good to have. 8 random links here, right? A hero section with we are cool, and then by now have a link here, and you might have some sort of section here. So if we count all this together, let's say we just have 20 links on the entire page. Incoming link juice divided by 20. All the link juice pushed into this website. So what you see here is that basically we are quite random with the amount of links and where they're going. If you can be more conscious about the links you have, eventually you will have a much more strong and clean link profile. Another thing I see today is that a lot of websites use what is called a mega menu. And a mega menu is basically just a huge mega menu built with a bunch of links. And is that good for our internal linking strategy? Oh, I don't think so. So for example, let's say you have a page here, normal link categories, and then as soon as you put your mouse over one of these, it'll fold out a huge list of links. So here, when we move over this, it'll do like link, and maybe even a few more links over here, especially these big e-commerce sites. And then you might have some Netflix inspired, this is interesting to you because, but what you see here is a ton of links, 20, and we have 4 over here. And depending on how this site is set up behind the scenes, I think it's in the HTML already. So you can imagine, like, let's say this is 24 total. So these 2 become 24. And you have that for each one of these, probably with the entire web page have 150 links on this page. So with all the links going on here and down in the footer, you will have 150 links on this page. And what is that doing for your internal linking? Absolutely nothing. The dream scenario is to think of linking and menus as they did in the good old days before CSS. A menu like this, and then when you click one of these, it would fold out, and then you would have some links under there. So this is a submenu. And the smart thing about doing it like this is that they did it only with HTML. And if it's only with HTML, you won't load all the other links. In total, this page will have, in this case, 10 links. So all the submenus of these are not loaded yet, only when you click. This is really good strategy. On the landing page, the front page, you only have 6 links. Plus, of course, there's probably something here in the content. That's all right. So let's say 3 here, 4 down here. But still, it's way less than this huge mega menu that everyone has today. So if you go back here and say this is a category, this could be, let's say, shoes, boots. What is super smart about this is that now this is a parent category and these are subcategories. And this makes what is called a topical silo. Topical silos are a way of telling Google or even the visitor how things belong together. What topics are correlated and what do you see as the main categories. So one way to sort your content could be by color. For example, this could have been red instead of shoes, and this could have been green. But by specifically choosing shoes, we told Google and the visitor that the way we categorize our content is by product category, not product color. So this is just something that helps the search engine understand how your content belong with each other. But if we see it in a more strategic way with like if you imagine you could see a bird's eye view of a website. So you would have a landing page, home, and a bunch of pages that home links to. For example, the contact page or the shop. So home links to all these pages, and if these pages are all in the menu, usually they will link back. So you could imagine like a two-way arrow here. They all link back and forth, and that's all cool. So what this basically tells is that home is the mother of all pages. And let's imagine that this is shop. This shop has some subcategories, for example, shoes or dresses. And by linking from shoes back to shop and vice versa, you tell that shop is the parent of shoes and shop is the child of home. And this is fairly simple stuff, but when it gets really interesting is when you add different kinds of shoes, as we showed here. We have boots. So that is a subcategory to shoes. If this was dresses, you might have some different subcategories to dresses, women's clothing, whatever. How can we make sure that Google understands that these different pages down here, they belong to shoes and not some random place that they're not over here somewhere? This doesn't come natural to Google. We have to actually instruct Google in how these things belong together. And that's what we do by doing this linking back and forth. So if you imagine that everything in here is in the same family, all of these pages can link to each other. They can link across like this, but preferably not over there, because that will confuse the visitor and Google. Well, is this a shoe or is this a dress? What are you talking about now? Therefore, we do topical silos. You want what's in here to link to each other, and you want what's in here to link to each other, but not across the channel. So this is no go. Don't link there. Unless you do no follow. That is okay. If you do no follow across different categories, you tell Google basically there is this other content. We don't really know what it is. It's not in our silo. You can take a look, but it's not ours. That's totally cool. This is some of the most advanced SEO stuff, and at least from a strategic point of view. But in theory, it's quite easy because most web shops and so on do this by default. When you have a category of shoes and subcategory of boots or whatever, or casual or business shoes, it will already start to cross-link naturally. But where it's really interesting is if you can take this philosophy that many web shops actually do naturally and apply it to your other content. You can really get some great results in ranking, and also make it really clear to Google what you need to rank for. One of the easiest ways to get these topical cross-linking between, like what I'm talking about in here is this mess of links I have here. One of the easiest ways to get this cross-linking within your content in a natural way is to do related posts in the bottom of your blog post. That will help at least find relevant content to link to. But if you want to be very strict about making these content silos, it's a good idea to at least first say it has to have this category. It has to have this category. And then within that category, we can try to be more user-friendly and find something that's very relevant for the user. One of the most basic ways you can add internal linking to your website today is by adding links in your content. Describe, let's say, a dress or something, and you mention the words red dress. It would be natural to assume that that could be a link to a page with a red dress. So you should totally do that. And particularly if this is a list of dresses, then definitely do that. However, if this is a list of shoes, maybe consider doing a nofollow here. That way you don't confuse Google whether or not this list is about dresses or shoes. So it's all about adding the relevant content and the relevant links in the most appropriate ways and the most appropriate places. What is the pages that you want to rank on Google? So let's call this topic anchors. So anchors is the specific text you put into your link. So oftentimes some people would write like link or click here. That's not really optimal. You have to actually write what it's about. That's like 1 point for placement of link, like which page do you link from. Another point for writing the right text. And the third point is for context. So make sure that this red dress is described in length and in very good detail and very interesting in an easy to understand and easy to read way in here. Then you have the perfect context with the perfect anchor from the perfect page. That's how you do anchors. We just talked about the importance of having a great text inside of your link, the anchor text. something that I've noticed a website has started removing over the last, let's say 5-10 years, is the home button. There used to be a link on your all pages in the menu called home or front page. It has had many names, but most people remove that today because it looks weird and people don't want a link called home. So instead, most people rely on clicking on the logo in the top left or something like that. But an image in itself has no anchor text. There's no way for Google to understand what the logo is or what it represents. So that's actually a missed opportunity. What I've been experimenting with is adding links to the homepage from the footer in order to tell Google what the front page represents. If you want the front page to rank for a certain keyword, like the good old example, if you want to rank for plumber London, like if you put plumber London in your footer with a backlink to your homepage, you're basically saying on each of your pages in the footer that the homepage of my website is plumber London. I don't know, they might want some more context, but it's just to get you an idea of how you can use the footer in order to tell Google what certain pages represent and what they are all about. Obviously, they'll take in all the factors we have just discussed in the past few minutes, but in general, it's good to give it as many tips as possible, while still keeping the amount of links as low as possible. I think that's about it for this video. I will probably regret I didn't tell some specific little detail. I think we did a good job, and I am so happy that you stuck along so far. If you have any questions to what we discussed, please write a comment. I would be happy to answer you. Well, then until next time, just go make something awesome and hope to see you soon. Ciao.